What is the true cost of truth? Are we, as a society, aware of the peril that journalists face every day in their pursuit of truth? It's a question that strikes at the heart of our global community, and one that resonates with profound implications. Journalism is more than just a profession, it's the lifeblood of a free society. It's the flashlight that cuts through the darkness, revealing the hidden and the obscured. It's a check on power, a beacon of transparency, and a catalyst for change. But it's also a dangerous endeavor. Journalists are our frontline warriors in the battle for truth, often risking their lives to expose the dark underbelly of society. They delve into worlds riddled with corruption, crime, and danger, armed not with weapons but with their pens, cameras, and an unwavering commitment to the truth. In regions where lawlessness prevails, where corruption permeates the very fabric of society, the role of a journalist becomes even more critical. They are the ones who dare to shine a light on the atrocities that many would rather keep hidden. They are the ones who give a voice to the voiceless, and hold the powerful accountable. But with this comes great risk. Journalists in these regions often become targets themselves, facing threats, violence, and even death. Their stories are a testament to the courage and resilience inherent in the pursuit of truth. The dangers they face are not just physical, but also psychological. They grapple with the weight of their responsibility, the constant threat to their safety, and the far-reaching consequences of their work. Yet, despite the risks, they remain steadfast in their mission, for they understand that without their efforts, many truths would remain buried, many injustices unchallenged, and many voices unheard. The cost of truth is high, but the cost of silence is even higher. For every journalist who falls, a light goes out in the world. But their stories continue to inspire others, reminding us of the importance of their work, and the need to protect and respect the freedom of the press. One such journalist who paid the ultimate price in his pursuit of truth was Javier Valdez Cárdenas. Javier Valdez Cárdenas, a beacon of truth in the throes of organized crime and corruption, lived a life dedicated to journalism. His story begins in the bustling streets of Culiacan, Sinaloa, where he was born and raised. From an early age, Javier was drawn to the power of the written word. His passion for journalism was ignited in this vibrant city, a place teeming with stories waiting to be told. Javier's career took off in an environment where many would fear to tread. He co-founded Rio Doce, a news magazine known for its unflinching coverage of drug trafficking and organized crime in Sinaloa. Javier's tenacity and dedication to unearthing the truth quickly made him a respected figure in the world of journalism. His work was not without danger. In 2009, a grenade was thrown at Rio Doce's office, a grim reminder of the realities of reporting on organized crime. Despite the threats and violence, Javier refused to be silenced. His commitment to his craft was relentless, and he continued to report on the dark underbelly of his city, undeterred by the danger that loomed over him. Javier's bravery didn't go unnoticed on the international stage. His dedication to journalism and his fearless reporting on organized crime earned him the International Press Freedom Award in 2011. And yet, despite the accolades and recognition, Javier remained humble, always putting the pursuit of truth above all else. His life was not solely dedicated to his work. Javier was also a devoted husband to fellow journalist Griselda Triana. Together, they formed a formidable team, their shared passion for journalism serving as the foundation of their relationship. However, Javier's fearless pursuit of truth put him on a deadly collision course with the very subjects of his investigations. On May 15, 2017, the world of journalism was shaken to its core. This was the day when Javier Valdez Cárdenas, a beacon of truth in the world of corrupt power and organized crime, met his untimely end. His relentless commitment to unveiling the truth, despite the looming shadows of danger, was silenced abruptly, and shockwaves reverberated across the globe. It was near the offices of Rio Doce, the very newspaper he co-founded, that Javier was ambushed. Two men, known by their aliases El Quillo and El Diablo, intercepted him. The car that Javier was driving was cornered, and without a moment's hesitation they pulled the trigger. A fearless voice was silenced, a life was extinguished, and a family was left in mourning. But why was Javier targeted? His murder was not a random act of violence. It was a premeditated attack, a direct retaliation for the articles he had written about organized crime. His investigative pieces on the Sinaloa cartel leaders, Damaso Lopez Núñez and his son Damaso El Minilich Lopez Serrano, had struck a nerve. They had decided to silence Javier, to extinguish the light he shone on their illicit activities. The news of Javier's murder sent shockwaves through the world of journalism and beyond. Here was a man who had dedicated his life to truth, to unmasking the dark underbelly of organized crime, and he had paid the ultimate price for it. The international community was outraged, and organizations across the globe condemned the brutal act. Javier's death left a void in journalism, but his legacy lived on, sparking a fight for justice. His murder was not in vain. It became a rallying cry, a call to arms for journalists and truth-seekers everywhere. His life and death became a symbol of the fight against corruption, a beacon of hope in the face of adversity. His legacy was not one of defeat, but of enduring courage and an unwavering commitment to truth. Justice, often elusive in cases involving journalists, finally caught up with the murderers of Javier Valdez Cárdenas. In a courtroom in Culiacan, the capital of Sinaloa, the gavel fell heavily on Juan Francisco Picos Barrueta, also known as El Quillo. A sentence of 32 years and 3 months was meted out for his role in the assassination. Picos Barrueta was not alone in his gruesome endeavor. Alongside him was another individual, Heriberto Picos Barraza, known as El Koala. He had been previously sentenced to 14 years and 8 months. Evidence presented during the trial painted a clear picture. These men were the executors, but not the orchestration behind the crime. They had acted on the orders of Damaso Lopez Serrano, also known as El Mini-Leak, a former leader of a drug trafficking gang. This was not an arbitrary act of violence. It was a premeditated assault, a retaliation for articles that Valdez had written about organized crime, specifically about Lopez Serrano and his father, Damaso Lopez Núñez. Picos Barrueta had even rejected an offer of a shorter prison sentence if he accepted responsibility for the murder. His refusal to do so was a chilling testament to the depths of his loyalty to the drug cartel's hierarchy. Lopez Serrano is currently in U.S. custody on drug trafficking charges, and Mexican authorities have issued an arrest warrant for him. The Committee to Protect Journalists, alongside other organizations, has called for continued efforts to extradite Lopez Serrano to Mexico to face trial. The sentencing of Picos Barrueta and Picos Barraza is seen as a significant step towards ending impunity in cases involving journalists, a beacon of hope in an otherwise grim landscape. Though justice was served, it was a stark reminder of the dangers journalists face in their pursuit of truth. To tell stories that need to be told, to shed light where darkness reigns, and to uphold the pillars of a free society, often comes at a high price. The story of Javier Valdez Cárdenas serves as a poignant reminder of this reality. Javier Valdez Cárdenas, a hero in the world of journalism, left behind a legacy that continues to inspire. In a world often shrouded in shadows, he was a beacon of light, relentlessly pursuing the truth, no matter the cost. His work at Rio Doce, a news magazine he co-founded, and as a correspondent for La Jornada newspaper, was groundbreaking. His relentless reporting on drug trafficking and organized crime in Sinaloa, Mexico, shed light on the devastating impact of these activities on local communities. His commitment to his craft was evident in the fearless way he confronted the dangers inherent in his work. The impact of Javier's work was far-reaching. His dedication to unearthing the truth in the midst of fear and violence has inspired a new generation of journalists. His brave reporting has also sparked a renewed fight for justice and protection for journalists, not just in Mexico, but around the world. The Committee to Protect Journalists, following Javier's tragic death, has been actively advocating for the rights and safety of journalists in high-risk regions. Javier's death was a grim reminder of the risks journalists face when they dare to expose the truth. However, it also served to strengthen the resolve of those who believe in the power of a free press. The sentencing of his murderers marked an important step in the fight against impunity, and a call for justice that reverberates globally. Javier's legacy is not just about his courageous journalism, it's also about his unwavering belief in the importance of truth and his determination to expose the realities of organized crime. His work has changed the landscape of journalism in regions plagued by such activities, proving that even in the face of danger, the truth is a cause worth fighting for. His life and his work have left an indelible mark on the world of journalism and beyond. They serve as a stark reminder of the power of truth and the risks those brave enough to pursue it often face. Javier Valdez Cárdenas, through his life and work, showed us the true cost of truth and the courage it takes to uncover it.